Hi guys, I'm just updating you all on my use of the Flex menstrual disc. I have had a chance to use it for 2 periods now. Got it in April and it's just now the beginning of June. So before my first period, I did practice inserting this to make sure that I understood like where it was supposed to sit and just getting comfortable with it. And then my first period that I had was a little bit later, but I used the disc the entire period. I worked through it. One thing that I noticed was that as opposed to a tampon, you can kind of do it sitting on a toilet. You really have to squat down a lot more or like put your leg up on something to get the right angle. Just because in order for this to work all throughout day, throughout like a 8 to 12 hour shift, which is what I work, you just need to make sure it's in the right spot, that it's like deep enough behind that pelvic bone. And like, the instructions talk about knowing your anatomy super well and knowing exactly where the pelvic bone is and all that kind of stuff, which sounds a little intimidating to me, but pretty much you just learn your body. You learn a groove where a certain groove is. That means that it is like sitting securely back there and isn't gonna fall out. After that, it's a breeze to use, honestly. So, yeah, first period was light. It was perfect. The cup worked great. No leakage, no issues there. I didn't have many cramps before using Flex discs, and so it wasn't a problem for me, but that doesn't mean that it necessarily helps with cramps. My second period, which I just had then in May, was a little different. So it was a heavier period, second month using the Flex disc, and I noticed that for some reason I was having a couple extra cramps when I would use it. And for whatever reason, my period was leaking a little bit past the cup. And I was like, is it just because my period is heavier this month? Or is the cup malfunctioning? Like, did I bend it? What's going on? And it felt like I was sitting it in the right spot, but it kept like slipping kind of down. Not like falling out, but just slipping in a way that blood would spill out. So I kept trying to just give it another chance, but after like leaking like 2 or 3 times, I was like, okay, a tampon can do way better job than this. And I was hanging out with friends during that week and I was just very annoyed, especially since my periods don't run super heavy. But what I ended up figuring out with this is that it really is essential, I think, to squat way down. Whatever that does, that angle of putting it in you helps you to be able to get it up and over the ledge of your pelvic bone and for it to sit there securely. So once I kind of figured that out and went back, I'd gotten a little lazy. I was kind of putting it in when I was sitting down in the toilet, or maybe just kind of like doing a wall squat to put it in. But once I started squatting all the way down, getting that really sharp angle, and then putting it in nice and deep, I had no problem at all. And I think part of it is just getting comfortable, having your fingers go a lot more up there than they do have to for a tampon. If you're used to a tampon, you're used to the comfort of the plastic part of the tampon being there where you can push that up. But instead, you're using your finger to go way up there. So if you're using the Flex disc and you're having trouble, the other thing too is that once I returned to that angle of squatting way down and then putting it in there, my cramps completely went away too. So, and I thought it was weird that I was getting cramps with this Flex disc on this period since I don't usually get cramps at all. So yeah, if you're using it, I would recommend just figure out what works for you. Figure out what angle you need to be at. If it's leaking, try and make yourself in a really steep angle when you're putting it up in there, like squatting way down and then pushing it way far back up into your vagina. And I would say that this has been a really worthwhile investment so far. It's super easy to travel with. It's really subtle. You can slip it in your pocket. Another thing that you do have to get used to that I wasn't used to is seeing your own blood. So like, it is weird to take out the cup and like see what's on the inside of your body, but it's also pretty empowering and cool to see what's there. It's not gross to me. I like prefer being in a private bathroom because then you can go to the sink and wash it out. I don't know, some of you think that's gross, but it's not like it's dirty blood or anything like that. And then when I'm in a public bathroom, I'll just, if you need to, you can wrap it in toilet paper or something like that, but I generally just wait until there's a quiet moment, take it to the sink and wash it out. No one's usually looking at what you're doing anyways when you go to wash your hands and everything like that. So, but yeah, that's my review of the Flex Disc. I can continue to give updates as things change, but I would highly recommend it. It's awesome to get to know your own body, to get something that is a one-time fee instead of having to buy tampons every single month, and something that is not putting bad chemicals into your body. So that's my review of the Flex Disc so far. This is not sponsored or anything, just my review. For those of you who are curious about it, taking it out, whether or not blood splashes or anything like that, it's once you practice once or twice without blood before you get your period, you get the hang of squeezing it just right and taking it out gently. And I've had zero problems with like blood splashing out or it like popping out or anything like that. It's pretty easy to control. So that's my review. Hope you guys are doing all right. Let me know if you have any other questions about the Flex Disc that I can answer in a future video. All right, bye.